Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of PromptMe.Please. This is a platform where I encourage you to think different, to do different, so you can be different. We do this work through the art of reflection, through the power of journaling, just to tap into your inner truth, to help you become a better person. I'm super excited about today's guest, you guys. Y'all pray my strength already, because when she entered into this building, she's such a light. But every time we get together, it's the key. We gonna cut up. We gonna have a good time. But today we're gonna talk about blossoming into your beauty. All things beauty, confidence, growth. And then we're also gonna touch on her journey of entrepreneurship. I want to introduce to you, world, Miss Niki. Hey, you're here.
Good afternoon, should I say.
How are you feeling?
I'm excited.
Good. I'm so glad. Thank you for your yes. You came. You made it. We have to do some rescheduling, but I'm like, I always honor people when they make time for me because, you know, we want to do the same in return for them. Tell the people how we know each other.
Oh, my God. It is such a journey, okay?
Yeah.
First and foremost, we are what I consider like family.
Yeah.
Right? So know her through my best friend who's no longer here.
Yeah.
However, you know, over time, just being around each other and being in the same house and taking those walks to school together, right? And although you're a couple years younger than me, but you were still a part of the tribe, right?
You know, my sister.
Yes.
Yep. And your best friend was my cousin, my older cousin who passed away years ago.
Yes.
And I just always remember seeing you upstairs because my mom and my grandma stayed downstairs, y'all. And then this is the family of like two flat, where my uncle and my his wife and his daughters, they stayed upstairs. And y'all went to school together, and you will always be upstairs just hanging, family stuff.
I was always there. I was really always there. It was like, when did I really go home?
Yeah. You're like, did I ever go home? Yeah,
but it's just being around you guys just over the years and what started out just as a friendship with me and my friend and, you know, the extension of, I'm going to say baby.
Yeah.
The extension of baby. And then like being around family gatherings. It's like, okay, this girl ain't going nowhere. I am more than just a friend.
Absolutely.
And just over the years of just watching the family just grow.
Crazy.
And we're all adults.
Yeah, and being a part of
kids.
those milestones too. Crazy. Like, she did my makeup for my wedding, my bridal shower, like our family first photo shoot. Yep.
I did.
Yeah, and I don't recall how I was introduced to your services. I just knew you did makeup, but I don't know who was like go to Niki. I don't know. Yeah. But when I would come to you, it would just always be a good time, good conversation. This was before we were wives.
Sure was.
You were a mom, of course, before me. But I think even before, because how old is your oldest?
Jordan will be 12 this
year.
My
goodness. A mom for 12 years is crazy.
That's crazy work.
Mom for 12 years
and we don't even want to talk about the era that I'm in now, okay? Because this is crazy work. Okay?
Yep, you did it again, didn't you?
I did.
So being a part of each other's milestones, because I've come to your wedding and just seeing your glow up and supporting your journey with your business and all of these different layers and avenues of the woman who you are, I'm just excited for the world to know you.
Thank you.
Because you are a treasure.
Oh my God.
You so crazy.
I appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah.
I really appreciate that because, you know, when you do so much, sometimes you don't get those trinkets back.
No,
right?
for sure.
Just to hear you say you are a treasure, it's like,
because I seen it though, you know, like both personally and professionally. And just, I love being around other women like that. I was just telling Will how I was like, Niki actually became like a adopted older sister as well because of the things that we will talk about, you know. And so it just very much was Like, yes, I'm older. Let me give you some of these nuggets and different things and experiences. Every time we get together, it's literally, we listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge, okay? But it's always exciting.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest with you with that, I love just giving you something that I probably didn't learn a lesson from. Or I had to learn a hard lesson from. It's like, ooh, let me give you a little bit of insight so that you can be better.
For sure.
Than what I may have done or experienced, right?
Yeah.
So I love that.
And being unafraid to say that, too. So I appreciate
so unapologetic about it.
Listen, okay, we're in that season.
So unapologetic about it.
Okay, so I do want to start you off with like an icebreaker question before we like really get into it. And I want to know, what's one makeup or self-care routine that instantly puts you in a good mood when you do this?
Oh, a massage.
A massage?
A good massage. Like, it trumps everything.
I love that.
And some tacos.
Oh,
massage and tacos.
Tacos. What's your favorite taco spot you like to go to?
Now, I have several, okay, because I have to compartmentalize them.
Okay.
So my 4 to 5 stars, if you're in the Chicago area.
Because this is so, babe, were we not just talking about, I was talking about this with Miss Wright, one of my coworkers. I had me and a good girlfriend of mine, we went to Taco Talon. It's like in the K-Town West Side area. And it blew up over social media. It's trending. Keith Lee, I wanted to try quesadilla tacos. And I was telling my coworker, I have an appreciation for some good, authentic tacos. Yeah. I'm talking about where they give you the chips and the guac and the salsa, okay? Absolutely. You get the horchata, too, if you would like. If that's your thing, if that's what you want. But I said, you go to other places, and other places make tacos, but you could tell what's an authentic.
Absolutely. And so that's why I categorize them in 4 to 5 stars. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you're either a 4 to 5 star or you're a little bit under the 4. It's like, I'll just eat you when I'm really hungry and nothing else is available.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
So, it's one of my continuous like go-to spots for tacos is this place called Carbone.
Okay.
It's like right around like 15th or 20th in Michigan.
Okay.
I'll send you the details.
Okay, please.
But it's in my Grubhub and in my Instacart continuously for tacos.
Around the clock. Okay.
It really is.
Okay. You gonna run it up on some Carbone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you have another one that you go to?
Taquitos Chicago.
Okay.
Now, that one's on the south side.
I heard of
them. On 79th. And they're 24 hours, by the way.
Okay. For the ones that need to know.
Just so you know, they are 24 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. So those are my top 2.
Okay. That's
and my
awesome.
husband put me on taquitos Chicago.
Really?
Yes.
Because he knows how much you love
No, I love me some tacos.
Okay.
Give me a good massage and some tacos.
Okay. How did you even get into like massages being the thing for your self-care? Because we try all of these different things, but you like this one right here. Because what are some other things that you try for self-care, but you was like, oh no, I got to have me a massage?
Oh, that's a really good question. To massages being like that routine for me because I have a challenge relaxing. And I knew that.
You talking to me?
I need something to help me relax because my mind is always running. I'm always going. Something is always taking place.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of calm, still time.
For sure.
And so I got one massage like years ago, right? And I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
But then as I got older, I began to really appreciate it. And then guess what I did, girl?
What?
I found a masseuse who traveled and she became...
Game changer.
Yep. And she became our masseuse for 5 years ago.
What?
No lie. And I actually just texted her the other day.
Okay.
So outside of her,
yeah,
I haven't really found that place to where just like, oh, who's better than Dana?
Yes.
Because baby, Dana have you like in the third world country somewhere in your mind on that table. You'll be like, what did this lady do to me?
Who am I?
But when she's done, I'm so refreshed.
Ooh,
it's just like
so
I'm in
good.
a different mental space. Like I'm a awesome wife in that
Ooh,
moment.
You
okay,
happy.
I am extremely happy.
Wife.
Kids, what do you want to eat for dinner tonight? We're going to eat out tonight, right?
Your kid's gonna be like, "Ma, did you get a massage?" You didn't get your massage yet, did you, Ma?
But that's what it was for me. It's the massage.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. That's awesome. So, what moment in your life sparked a major shift in how you see beauty?
You coming with the question?
Come on now, I'm just prompting.
Oh, that's
all I'm doing.
You know what it was? So when I opened my salon in 2016. Literally with nothing.
Yeah.
No money, no credit.
Wow.
Just faith and talent.
Wow.
Like real talk.
Yeah.
And as I began to grow my business and my clients was growing or whatever, I would notice that a lot of women will come in and they will try to like cover up. Or like, you know, can you make sure you cover this up, you know, this and that. And I just noticed that the confidence in women when they come in, and then when they leave out, it's two different things.
Okay, because let me tell you something. Let me stop you. Let me tell you something. Let me stop you right there. I knew how good you were with makeup.
You?
When I would literally see the difference. Like it was almost like you were shifting faces, changing lives, and you like I can tell because I think about how I would come in and sit in your chair. I'm coming in plain face, coming out, it's like voila, you know, like magic, you know, and I know it's a confidence thing because us as women, we want to look good. We want to feel good. And I know like you put your hand on it when you checking your work, you're like, oh, you look so pretty. You know, like, but even the affirmation in that though, I'm like that's like a woman, a sister to sister kind of thing too.
And you learn a lot about, you know, your, you know, people in general, you know, when you're servicing them. And just speaking about the confidence, you know, when they're done getting their services, you know, completed or whatever. Yeah. It's just like an instant boost of confidence. And with that being said too, I had to begin to tell my clients when they come in, you know, makeup doesn't change like who you are. It just enhances your beauty.
You said that so well.
That's how I think about makeup. I don't think about makeup as like, I'm about to give you an entirely different face. Yeah. We're going to take what you got. We're going to take this canvas.
Yeah, come on.
And we're going to elevate this canvas so that when you walk up out of here, you feel 10 times better than what you felt when you came in here. So I think that's the reason why I had such a passion, well, still have, have such a passion for beauty because we go through so much as women and we don't really get the chance to talk about those things or like feel like we can let our hair down. So getting makeup and stuff done, it really, really helps our confidence.
Okay, so growing up, how was beauty either like introduced to you, exposed to you, or like taught to you for you to even involve yourself in the industry of it?
You know what? This is another really good question. Nobody has ever asked me this stuff.
I'm just saying.
This is so crazy.
I'm just doing what I do.
I do not know how. And the reason why I say I do not know how, because I was a tomboy growing up.
You are like, babe, you are like the third woman on my couch. Well, actually fourth. All previous 4 of my guests had talked about being tomboys, but when you look at them, it's like, what? Like you would never know.
Catch me I would have never thought that. In some mics.
Okay.
Throughout literally like from childhood years until about high school.
That's crazy.
It was high school that really clicked for me.
Really?
Like, okay, girl, you cute in your Tommy Hilfiger overalls and your baggy jeans and your Jordans or whatever. But girl, Put some heels on.
So it was high school.
It was high school.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know what exactly it was. I can't even say that it was a boy.
Yeah.
I really can't say that it was a boy.
Of course.
But something clicked in me that says, you know, you like more than this, right? And that's when I began to like really start to look at myself like in a different way. Like, girl, get a little tighter jeans, you know, put a little tighter shirt on. Get fitty. Girl, put a little necklace on and put some nails on. I think that's when the femininity really started with me. It was high school because previous to that, I hung with a lot of boys.
That is so
I was
crazy.
I
would have never thought that.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I think that's where my kind of toughness comes in at a little bit because a lot of my cousins, boys, especially on my dad's side, And then, just being in the group, the girl in the group that just hang with boys. Because we used to do this thing in school. So like when mics came out, all right, who getting these mics, right? And so we'll get in a circle and everybody putting their mics, in the circle. Oh my God, I was such a boy.
That is so like, what are you talking about?
It's crazy.
What are you talking about?
If I showed you some of my childhood pictures, you'd be like, Nikki, you really were a tomboy.
Oh my gosh. So was there like a woman in your life that you looked as like, oh, look at her, she has the look, or she's like the standard for beauty? Did you have like any mentors that kind of like, well, ladies do this? And was that?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Yeah, so that's so crazy. You're like, I don't know where this came from.
Nope.
Yeah.
I come from a hustling mama.
Oh, period. Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have even, and it may sound crazy.
Yeah.
It may sound crazy. Excuse me. Your parents are your parents.
For sure.
But my mom was a hustler, right? She had to be mom and dad.
That part.
So I don't think, as a parent now, I don't think she even had the room
the
to
capacity.
Probably teach me like that femininity that I probably would have gotten before I
For sure.
But there was nobody that I looked up to. It was me.
Yeah.
I was my own confidence.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so good to hear though.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear. What has been your most meaningful personal discovery about yourself growing up, like in the past 10, 15 years?
The most meaningful personal
discovery about yourself, or like about your journey of becoming you.
Wow. Oh, girl. This is a couch for therapy.
I got tissue. Yeah.
That is really good. I would say really learning who I am. And learning who you are is sometimes you think you know who you are, but you really don't know who you are. And it was, for me, it was like a flip of a switch to where I always knew I was that girl.
Period.
I always knew I was that girl. I didn't need nobody to tell me.
Yeah.
I didn't need anybody to give me confidence or anyone to validate anything that I did. I just had that naturally in me.
Sure.
But also within that as well, I don't think I used my voice good enough in a way that I could have used my voice. So what was meaningful to me was learning how to use my voice.
But when did that come?
And standing on it.
Yeah, when did that come?
Oh, unfortunately, but fortunately, that did not happen until later years. If I'm being transparent,
let's do it. That's why we're here.
That did not happen until I was in my 30s. So imagine all those years being who you are, confident, bold, all that entrepreneur, great things, right? But that voice inside of you hadn't fully developed yet. Being a people pleaser is pretty much what I was. And I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Just being a yes man. Okay, no problem. I got you. Cool.
Always being flexible. Always being adaptable.
Being there for everybody and all that stuff that you do and you don't even realize that you're doing. And it's like when you take a step back, it's like, ooh, I'm heavy over here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Way down.
I'm like, Lord,
down on my luck, back against the wind.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
That was the turning point for me.
Wow.
Really, really learning that I have a voice and I need to use it.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for sharing that. I think that is so important to know, because I think you said you always been that girl. You think you know, but you really don't know.
Really don't know.
It reminds me of like all the old cliches that our parents and like our village would say, like, keep living.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about? I am living. Baby, no, you're not.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not. My husband just told my daughter that yesterday. Keep living.
I love it.
And I get it. I get it now, because it's like, yes, keep living. Get to my age.
Get to my age.
Get to where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because you're going to experience some things.
Absolutely. What boundary have you set in your life that has been essential for your personal growth?
Ooh. I am there now.
Mm-hmm.
I am there now. And that is learning. I have learned to say no.
Come on now. Period.
And I have learned to say no, Tati, and stand on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that. Because you can say no and it's like, oh, you know what? I feel bad.
Then
I
it get a little
guilty.
shaky.
Like, you know what? I think no.
Period.
I have learned to say no, and I have been standing on it. And with that being said as well, when you learn to say no and you create those boundaries, in essence, you what is it? Compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Yes. You compartmentalize, you don't get a good response.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the reason you don't get a good response is because you've been so flexible.
Ooh! I'm about to get up.
You've been so flexible.
About to get up. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm actually in that space, in that time of my life now.
Yeah.
To where I found my voice.
Yeah.
To where no means no.
Period.
Oh, for real, right?
Period. Yeah.
And to where if I say I'm going to do something, then that's just it, right? But also being respectful. And sometimes when you become the person that people are not used to seeing, you become a target.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You become who she thinks she is.
Because they don't like that.
They don't like that. They don't like that. They need that one that came to their every beck and call.
Yeah,
they
every
answer
time.
the text message.
Every
Just answer
time.
the call. That
Just
showed
always
up.
available.
Just always. I was too available. I was too available.
Yeah.
And I was told once before that, girl, you're too available
Ooh.
for people. I didn't understand.
I was just going to say it didn't click then.
It didn't click then.
You say, but now?
But now?
In this season?
No.
Period.
Absolutely.
I love that. What's a personal growth milestone that seemed impossible until you achieved it?
Your questions are truly amazing. I'm just going to keep going back to
Thank
that.
you.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
the questions. Nobody really takes the time to ask these things. Starting a business.
Talk about that.
Starting a business.
Because you said no money.
I was broke as
Just talent.
stuff. I'm just going to say stuff.
Like you had the idea.
I had the idea. I'm
but
a
you
visionary.
didn't know.
So I had the idea. I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
I didn't have the capital.
Yeah.
I didn't have the credit.
Yeah.
But there was one person who said, hey, look, I'm going to give you a chance. Just don't F my stuff up. And that was the landlord
Wow.
in the building that my business was in for
what
the
made
last
you
7
tell
years.
me that story? What made you go to this particular, like you were researching buildings, locations, where you were going to go? I want to hear that story.
Yes. So I got tired of working at other people's salons and stuff.
Okay. So you did start off.
I did start, yeah, absolutely. So when I finished school, I was behind the chair styling here. And I realized early on, like, baby, look, I'm naturally good at this thing, but I just can't foresee myself doing somebody's hair.
Okay.
I thought of myself more than that.
Yeah.
Just being
okay,
real.
okay.
No shade to the people who do hair.
Because you're
but
talking about your personal.
it's just me. I couldn't see myself doing that. So I use what I knew from school because when you're a cosmetologist, you have to learn everything. You don't just learn hair.
That's good to know. I'm pretty sure the kids don't know that today.
That's where there's a different respect with cosmetologists.
Okay.
It's a whole different respect. So we have to learn hair, nails, makeup, everything.
Okay.
And so I leaned on that because one thing I know how to do is, I know how to do my own makeup, right?
Yeah.
And so Jordan, my oldest daughter, she was a baby at that time. She was brand spanking new, probably a couple months old.
Okay.
And my now husband, I was like, I think I'm going to step from behind the chair and just focus on makeup artistry.
Wow. Okay.
And that's how that journey started. So I was having clients in and out the house.
Yeah.
I was still doing hair, but I was focusing on makeup too.
Okay.
So having clients in and out the house, and then eventually I had to stop that because being realistic, I'm from the west side of Chicago, okay? These people coming in and out my house, they seeing how my house looks.
I got you.
And I got a whole tall, dark, and handsome man up in here too. I didn't find somewhere to work.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. You like this location
This location's
is
not working anymore.
Yeah.
So from there, I went on to work in various salons, but I always worked downtown. And that was a standard that I had for myself.
Standard, yeah.
Because I wanted to give a certain customer service. I wanted to have a certain experience. And not only that, I don't need nobody telling me, well, this costs too much.
Yeah.
Okay? So the standards was set there.
That's right.
And so I always worked downtown. And then from there, I worked in one neighborhood salon, which was okay. And so after that, I was like, I'm going to open my own shop. I did not know how that was going to happen.
Yeah.
At that time, I was still working in corporate as a practice manager for a dental office.
Wow, okay.
And so the practice that I was working at across the street was an office building.
Okay.
And they had a for rent sign.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to call and I'm going to go over there on my lunch and I'm going to see what it looks like.
Wow.
Went over there. When I tell you it was like a blank space, it was some ugly carpet on the floor and
it
white
was nothing.
walls.
Yeah.
But I saw
what it could be.
I saw what it could be. I told you I'm a visionary.
Visionary. Come on. You had the vision.
And my husband was like, you sure this is it? And we laugh about it because he looking like, what you gonna do with this?
Because his lens and your lens look totally different.
And that man said, hey, listen. He say, look, I'll give you an opportunity. Just don't F my stuff up. That's all I needed.
Wow.
And that's when M. Dior Hair and Makeup Artistry was established from that day in 2016. So that was one of the biggest milestones for me because, man, I actually started a business.
Yeah. And how did that feel for you?
It was exhilarating because, first of all, I did something that I never knew nothing about.
For sure.
Just being honest. I didn't have any business training. I didn't have any mentors. It was me and Google.
Wow.
So everything
that's very
I
rare
learned
to
about
hear.
business was me and Google.
I think now more than ever, especially on social media, you see people like business coaches or like adopt me as a mentor type thing. I think that's the push now more than ever. But back then you said, baby, I got this up out of the mud.
And that's what I literally got it out the mud. And it was so amazing. And obviously,
of course.
When you walked in my salon, baby, you couldn't even tell.
I didn't see ugly. Ugly where what?
This is what?
Yeah.
This is what it is. I turned that place from nothing to something so extravagant.
Yeah.
I did that with my hard-earned money. I didn't have no loans. I was using my paychecks to fund my business.
Wow.
My paycheck.
Yeah.
So my first business, it meant something. It was like my baby. My business was my first baby.
Yeah.
So yes,
that's
was one
awesome.
of the biggest milestones.
I think that is awesome, but it's also like so divine, like the steps that were ordered before you to be able to embark on the journey of entrepreneurship. And you meet a guy and he like, okay, like he saw something in you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I'm pretty sure how you presented, how you spoke, it spoke to him because hey, y'all, I see y'all got this, like the approach and everything. And you just so happen to work across the building.
That was nothing but God.
What?
So imagine this.
Yeah.
So funny because I don't work there no more, so I don't care.
Right. Period. Yeah.
But just imagine on your lunch breaks, on your style seat, you got clients scheduled. And you ain't got to go nowhere but across the street. Talk about God having you in divine order. Like, I got you.
And it's effortless. You ain't have to drive nowhere, face no traffic.
Skip across the street. Across the street.
Yeah. That is so God. That's why I was like, let me hear that story. Because I think that's amazing. But it also just speaks to the things that you don't hear entrepreneurs talk about today. Like, I really have an appreciation for the story of where they are today. Like, but how did you get there? When you say like, no, I ain't had no mentors. Nobody was holding my hand. It was just me and Google, and Google.com is free.
Baby, it was just, listen. And you know the crazy part throughout all of that?
Yeah.
I did not have anybody to teach me. That's this thing called gatekeeping.
Yeah.
And back then, I don't know if it's still like that now.
Yeah.
But people wouldn't tell you nothing because they felt like you were going to do better than them.
They thought you were an immediate threat. Yeah. And I'm like, literally, it's room at the table.
So that's why it was just me and Google. Yeah. Because I ain't have time.
Yeah. You like, I don't even want to deal with that.
And you probably not even going to tell me the truth anyway.
No,
you probably about to send me off.
And sabotage me.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
So,
That's so good. Can you share a time when embracing the vulnerability actually strengthened your confidence in your journey? Because you just spoke about like gatekeeping and not wanting to deal with that. And in order for you to not gatekeep, you got to be vulnerable and you have to be transparent with people to talk about, your journey of becoming.
Yeah, that started that version of me as a businesswoman and showing that vulnerability started when I began to hire people to work in my salon with me, and really when I began to teach training classes. Because I'm in this room, y'all paid to come and get insight from me. I can't sugarcoat anything.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you all of the things that you need to do to provide the services, the steps, the how-tos and all that. But let me tell you about this other side.
Yeah, that people don't want to talk to you about.
That people don't want to talk about. And so that is when it really began to develop for me to have that vulnerability as an entrepreneur, because when I was teaching training classes, I had the process and a mental thought of, if I don't tell them everything, they're going to get out here and they're going to do themselves a disservice.
Yeah. But also your name was on the line, right?
Oh, let's not talk about that too. Because see, I'm even like that when I provide a service to you. You would not walk out of here with jacked up brows, jacked up makeup, because my name, how many times have I said my name is everything to me?
My name is on that door.
My name is on that door. So if somebody asks you, hey, who did this? And they should be asking you with, hey, who did?
Yes.
Not like, oh, girl, who did?
Yeah.
It should be an excitement behind
that.
My name is everything to me, because I had to work for everything that I got. Nothing was given to me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
My mother made me start working at 13.
Really? What was your first job?
To the Secretary of State to get my state ID. It wasn't a state ID at that time. It was a work permit.
That's right. That's right. What was your first job?
So if I tell y'all what my first job was, y'all gonna be like, this is why she's so damn bougie.
Okay, please. I would love to hear it. Because when you speak, I'm like, the standard.
My first job was standard.
What was it?
Oh my God. Brace yourself.
Okay.
Y'all, my mom worked at a law firm at that time.
Okay.
So she was so adamant on me getting a summer job that my first job was at a law firm as
you
a
worked
file
at the
clerk.
law firm.
So just imagine being 13
the standard, yeah.
And bringing home a paycheck of an adult.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, wait, this is how much money I can make.
Baby, McDonald's, Burger King, they want.
I worked at McDonald's for a month and I quit.
Was that your shortest?
It was. I asked my mama to come get me.
I was just about to say, baby, McDonald's, Burger King, they ain't having you.
I got one paycheck. And it traumatized me so much.
He was like, this it? Is this your king?
The paycheck traumatized me so much that I remember it. Yeah. It was $260 for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. You say no.
I was 13 making $700, $800,
I know, that's
$900.
immediately. You like,
hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ma,
what?
Can you come get me, please? I told my mother the truth. I say, I got my paycheck and it's too small. It was so small. I told her the truth. Yeah. And the mama that I had, they say, okay, baby, I'm coming to get you. I'm on my way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had standards very young.
Very young. Very young. The standard.
The standard.
I love it. But that's great. And that's actually a fun fact that I just learned about you. But like you said, it will speak to why I carry myself the way that I do. How long were you doing hair before you started your salon in 2016?
Oh, sporadically. I don't even want to say.
Was it like off and on?
Yeah, okay. Because the thing about that was me going to cosmetology school was, man, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
That was a backup.
Okay.
Because my degree is in criminal justice. I was trying to be the police.
No. What?
I know it's so many layers to me, girl.
I
am going to write a book one day,
really
okay?
Can. It's just like, girl, what?
Yes.
You want to be the police?
I was going to be the police. And my grandma used to make all the funniest jokes about me. She was like, yo, ain't too little to be the police. She said, they gonna... It was funny, but girl, she was like, I am little. But like, yes, so
Wow.
Cosmetology, entrepreneurship was not the life that I saw. That was not the life that I designed for myself.
Yeah.
The life that I designed for myself was to be a criminal justice major.
Wow.
To go to school to be the law.
To be the law. And
God, every time I got closer and closer and closer, he was like, nope, closing that door. Nope, closing that door. Nope,
really?
Not doing that. Let me tell you how crazy God worked. And we can move on to the next question when you're ready.
Yeah.
The last straw for me with trying to get into law enforcement, I had went to Atlanta.
Okay.
And because Chicago, I never wanted to be CPD.
Okay.
I just didn't, because it was just too much. So all the places that I were applying for were like villages and suburbs.
Really?
And stuff. No,
nothing.
So applied for DeKalb County to be a correctional officer. Got out there, me and Dre. No, I went by myself.
Okay.
He stayed home because Jordan was still little. And got out there, girl, did the physical. Got to the end of the physical, and that man hit his clock. He said, you are 3 seconds late. That was it.
You went to Atlanta, DeKalb County, trying out, and 3 seconds late.
3 seconds. Not a minute, not 2 minutes, 3 seconds.
And it's crazy because in your mind, you wasn't like, okay, next time I try, I gotta be there.
No next time. That was it. You want to stop me? You stop me right there. It was like, all right, God, I quit.
You like, cool.
It's like, you know what? I'm going home. Okay. I cried. I packed me and my tears up.
Yeah.
And I got on that flight.
What?
And I came home. I had a couple days. You know, you got to have a couple days to recoup for what just happened.
Yeah.
And I called my mom. And I said, you know what, Mom? I think I'm going to go to cosmetology school. And I went to the Harvard of Beauty Schools, Pivot Point.
Come on. Yeah, come on, Harvard.
And Pivot Point taught me the skill, but Pivot Point also gave me business. That's the good thing about that school.
Okay.
It teaches you business and the skill.
Yeah.
And it literally
it lifted you and it elevated you.
There. I had no idea.
Wow.
This was not my plan.
Come on.
But it was my plan. It was God's plan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. How do you maintain your sense of self-worth when you're encountering different challenges?
My secret place.
Talk about that.
Man, as you grow as a person, but also in entrepreneurship, you don't have people who encourage God and encourage your faith and encourage your belief. Vices are encouraged, right?
That's right.
I'm so thankful that I grew up in church and that God has always been a pillar, you know what I'm saying? And that being honest, there may have been times to where he wasn't first in my life. But I believe that the older that I have gotten, the more I have become, you know, a better mother, wife, friend, entrepreneur, all that good stuff, that I have begun to position myself in my secret place even more, because I think it's like, man, like, God, I need you more now than I ever needed you before.
Come on.
And it's like, I cannot do without. Like, I get irritated if I miss my time with God.
Oh, that's so good and powerful.
I get like, my husband, my kids know when that door is closed, don't bother me.
Don't bother me.
It's me and God right now.
I love that.
Every morning when I'm up, I get my kids out. You know, some people, you know, have their prayer time or their God time before the kids go. No, I need the house empty.
I need all y'all.
I need all y'all gone. Because I don't know how long I'm going to be in here. And I don't need no kids knocking at the door saying, Mom,
I'm hungry.
I don't need that. So when my house is clear, that is when I have my time with God. So it is really my secret place that really gives me the wisdom, the strength to just keep doing life every single day. Like, baby, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be sitting on this couch. I'm just going to be real with you.
I love that. And I think the reason why it holds such truth is because I'm entering in that season now. You know, when you growing up in church, it's just routine.
It's routine.
You're just going with the flow because I'm here because my mama here, or I'm here with you know such and such. And then in my 20s, my sister and I talked about this, where I was going to church while I was away at school, but that is because it was instilled in me. And once again, it was like a routine, but I was doing it, you know, on my own. But now being a woman in my 30s, let me tell y'all something. Being on my face at the feet of that man.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have no other
There's no better place.
No better place. It's not.
I'm getting
chills just talking about it because there is no better place. And it's something that happens in your 30s.
Come on.
It's something that happened when you almost 42, because I'm there.
Well, look at her, y'all. Don't she look good?
I look great, right? Because 40 is that, baby, I'm going to come in. And I'm like, I'm ready.
You ready for
but
me?
It is something that happens or wakes up in your 30s. So you be like, ooh, okay.
It's hitting different for
it's
sure.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's so different. You know, my bedtime is different. You know.
We talked about this. Don't catch me outside.
If I'm not outside before or by 6 o'clock, I'm not coming
Probably
out.
not going back.
I'm not going to be there, guys. What time does your event start? Now, baby, I got to get in the bed and watch Law & Order. I got to put the robe on, okay? It's time to get tucked.
Beyond it, then y'all gonna be looking at me crazy.
I'm waiting on my tacos, and me and my tacos about to have a phenomenal night. Okay?
That's it. I get it. So you're a wife. How is marriage? I love
Girl,
that.
marriage is a battlefield.
It is. Tell the truth.
Listen. You know I'm not the one to lie about anything. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Do not get me wrong. I would not have married my husband if I didn't think he was the person for me.
Absolutely.
But marriage is work.
Yeah.
It's serious work. Yeah. And, you know, I'm coming up on 5 years of being married. Come this September. Lord, I made it. Jesus, we made it past the first 5 years.
The first two, that's the trying time. Like, it just seemed like that honeymoon phase, it come and it go.
Like, oh.
Here,
like, wait a minute.
God.
Is the ink still wet on the paperwork? Where's the ink on the paperwork?
For real.
But no, just looking at marriage, you got to be serious about it.
Yeah.
And you have to know exactly why you are getting married.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Because some people marry just for the glory of the ceremony and this, that, and the third.
Yes.
Or, you know, they think that it's all fun and games.
Yeah.
And it's like, baby, you're going to be some days, you're going to be like, now, who is this?
They live too much on social media for marriage.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, oh, you like the idea.
You like the idea of marriage.
But this work.
The work is totally different. Absolutely. It's totally different. And so, also, too, you know, I come from a family of marriage. Mm-hmm. My husband doesn't.
Yeah.
So, you got two different worlds, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes when two different worlds come together, we got to do some fixing in the middle.
For sure.
And so marriage is continuous work. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. I love having my family. I really, really do. You know, my kids and my spouse in the same household. Yeah. Some of us come from broken homes. Yeah. So just to have that together, it means a lot.
And to be able to come home to it every day. And your mom, talk about it. You've been a mom for 12 years.
I've been a mom for 12 years. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Yes, ma'am.
And then you became a mom again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that little mini-me of yours.
She is really my mini-me. Like, let's just say that. Be careful what you say, because I'm going to tell you what I said, okay?
Tell me.
I had said over and over and over again that if I don't have my last child or my next child, because in my mind I was going to have 3 kids.
Oh, okay. I'm
not having 3 kids.
You're done?
I'm done. This little one, I think she topped it off for the both of us. We're done. But in my mind, I kept saying, and out loud. And this, you got to be careful what you say in a good and bad way, because manifestation is real.
It is.
I kept saying, if I don't have another baby by the time I'm 35, I'm not having any more kids.
Then what happened?
And then I was pregnant at 35. Giving birth. 35-year-old woman. In my mind, I'm 35.
Yeah.
I'm young in age, but my body was like,
girl,
no.
What are you doing?
Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Like, what happened here?
Yeah.
So, yes, my youngest daughter, if I'm being real about this thing, that pregnancy was completely different.
I hear it all the time, how no pregnancy is the same.
It's not the same. Mm-hmm. So my oldest one, I was 26.
Yeah.
So I obviously younger, right?
Yeah.
Had a lot of spunk, right? But my body wasn't as mature on the inside either.
True.
And so my youngest daughter, that pregnancy was tough. I mean, when I tell you every day, back hurting and pain, it was just rough. But she was a quick labor. See, that's when I knew she was gonna be something else. You came. You was what I knew. I knew you was too thirsty to get here.
Why you such in a rush?
Why you in a rush? Let me tell you how much in a rush she was. She came 2.5 weeks early. And that's another thing about manifestation.
Yeah. What you say?
I said to my clients, right? God he be listening to me.
He do.
I told my clients that as long as she stay in until after I had this baby shower, I'm cool. I told my clients that at the shop.
Yeah.
Do you not know I went into labor the next day after my baby shower? Not even the whole 24 hours. I was at the hospital about 8 a.m.
Didn't even give you time.
Didn't give me no time, baby. I was in the bed and I just felt it come. I said, "Ooh,
it's time.
It's time to go."
She's
I was
on
so
the
unexpected.
way. She's on the way. She is coming.
She's here.
In the quick labor.
In the quick labor. That baby was here before 12 o'clock. Why you here so fast?
Wait a minute.
I just got to the
Can
hospital.
You slow down? I can't even walk a little bit.
That baby was here before 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, okay?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Crazy work. Crazy.
But speak to the joys of motherhood.
Man, looking at your kids, and motherhood can be challenging. Don't get me wrong. But when I look at my girls, it's like, yo, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, they belong to me, and just being able to be there with them.
Yeah.
And have that time with them and just watching those milestones, those different growth spurts. And it's great.
Yeah.
It's really, really great. And, Jordan being my oldest one, we had a different time together,
Absolutely.
right?
She got a different version
a different version of me. Mm-hmm. She totally.
And her dad. Y'all were different people.
Everything was different. And so it's amazing just being a mom to two girls. I really thought the little one was going to be a boy.
Really?
I really did.
Okay.
But God was like, psych, kill man. So here I am.
Yeah.
And I should have known that because the majority of my family is girls.
Girls, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So Andre on the other end, he thought that was going to be a boy too.
He thought, sorry,
but
Andre.
I love it, It really shows you who you are too.
Yeah.
Because I'm growing with them.
Yeah.
Even still to this day.
Absolutely. Because you're an entrepreneur, you're a mom, you're a wife, and hold so many other different hats. How do you balance it all?
There's no such thing as balance.
Ooh, say it again.
There is no such thing as balance. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Balance doesn't happen. You balance, y'all.
That's true. Because everything.
Something is off.
Yeah, like, something will be missed.
It's going to be missed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't balance.
That's real.
But what I did begin to do, and this is thanks to my mentors, Tyann Coakley and Prince Coakley, my business coaches, I have learned to become more structured.
Okay. And what does that look like?
A planner.
Okay.
My life is literally in a planner.
Okay.
Because for so many years, I thought that I was a structured person.
Okay.
Because, I could do this, I could do that. I thought I was really great at multitasking.
Yeah.
The workplace conditioned my mind
to think that.
But when it came to real life, baby, I was all over the place.
Yeah.
I will make commitments and don't show. Late all the time. And not being late intentionally, is just that I was never taught structure.
Wow.
And that goes back to your childhood because you really don't even realize
that
you were never really taught structure. So I I've learned to become more structured. So everything that I do, if it's not written down, it did not happen.
I'm the same way. I'm like, if it's not in my calendar,
if it's not in my calendar, baby, you must have called me in the moment when I was saying, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't even remember this.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Because you have 2 younger daughters, what advice would you give to them about knowing their self-worth?
Oh. That's good.
Yeah.
The best advice that I would give to my girls of knowing their self-worth is put yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Put yourself first and be okay with being you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to fit in.
Yeah.
You know, be yourself. And I'm actually in that season, Tati. I'm in that season with my oldest daughter, just teaching her like, hey, you be Jordan.
Yeah.
It's cool that you got your friends.
Yeah.
You know, friends look different.
Yep.
But stay true to yourself because, you know, when you begin to fall into those things, you kind of have an identifying thing. You don't really know who you are.
That's right.
And so just making sure that my kids stay true to themselves and know who they are. This version of Niki, I have to give them more of what I probably didn't get.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And also what I knew that I should have done for myself as well.
Yeah.
So in this season of my life,
For sure.
they're getting the best version
I
of their
love
mother.
that. I love that.
So that they can go and be beautiful women on the inside in and out and be okay with saying no and be okay with being firm in who you are, right? And not allowing people to minimize you and things of that nature. So this version of me, my kids, they gonna be.
I love
They
it.
gonna be ready.
They gonna be solid.
They gonna be ready.
They gonna be solid. You don't play about them. You don't play about them. And speaking to the journey of entrepreneurship, what some words of advice do you have that you would have for young up and coming entrepreneurs, and especially speaking to the beauty and the hair and makeup industry?
Absolutely. The best advice that I can give the younger people who are up and coming is that success doesn't happen overnight. And you're not successful when you got money. It's the work that you put in.
That's right.
To gain the success, and then the money comes.
And then the money comes.
In the world that we live in, everything is like quick. And it's like instant gratification. It's not going to keep.
How to make money and how to make $1,000 in a day.
But how long is it going to last you? Because are you here for a short time or are you here for a long time?
That's good.
And so, you know, to those future entrepreneurs, those aspiring entrepreneurs, it takes time. Don't rush your journey. Your journey is going to look different than everybody. It's your journey, but your journey is meant to be a testament for somebody else.
That's right.
And then you're going to be rich as I don't know what.
Come on.
It, okay? So you gotta go through it to get to it,
yeah,
right?
that's good.
You get rich overnight, I'm scared of you. I'm scared of you. Like,
what you doing?
What you doing? Because that ain't right, okay?
Yeah, it takes hard work. It takes hard work. So I just want to say thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Yes,
and
I love it. This has been great. Thank you.
You are such a light. Of course.
Thank
course.
you.
I'm like, when I think about the people that I know, and I'm like, the world don't know, the world should know them. You know, like I am happy to be a part of a village and a tribe that supports me, and I could do the same for them. Like, we literally have stories together. We've cried together. You know, we've laid on each other's couch, like I always like to say. And it's because, like, our bond goes past friendship or, like, us just knowing each other's families. Like, we are family. I'm super, super proud of you and everything that you have done. I'm loving the moves that you always make. Now when I see you and when I think of you, I'm like, the standard, because you do not play. And I think the story of you, like your first job, hearing that, and then you like, yeah, and I worked at McDonald's. I'm like people need to hear that though, because you don't have to take it.
You don't.
If you know you and you know how you feel. If you're like, this ain't me or this ain't what I envision for myself in my life, I don't have to do it.
Don't
and that's
settle.
okay. Don't settle. That's
Always
the word.
negotiate.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
negotiate.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you having me as a guest.
Yes.
And I can't wait to have the opportunity to come sit back on your couch.
Oh, yes.
But
Anytime.
This has been wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for even just believing in me enough to say, girl, I need you to come sit down.
It was a no-brainer.
Thank you.
It was a no-brainer. Yeah. So that's a wrap on today's episode, you guys, of Prompt Me, Please. Thank you so much for watching. Please share with me your thoughts, like, comment, subscribe, and just let me know what you think about today's episode. Keep manifesting, keep growing, keep journaling, keep believing bigger. I love you guys. Cheers to the next episode.